Okay, this one is a freebie. I don't count this as a fucking roster move. Carolina did very well at the major. Tej is obviously going to stay. Could you imagine if they did that well? They beat the shit out of New York and like had a good run, and they were just like, "All right, Tej, thank you for your service," and then they just brought back Real anyway. That would be so. Yeah, no, this is like a absolute gimme. Tej is disgusting. I don't expect. People are saying they're gonna make more changes. For fucking who? The other options are Clayster and fucking Gwyn, and you're not dropping Gwyn, and you're certainly not dropping Clay. I don't know how the fuck people are saying that these people need more changes. They had a good event, bro. Tej should be on the team. End of discussion. That's a freebie on a bingo card space or free space right there. Tej is staying. That guy's got like, we're using Ben J as a source. Ah, shit. What did Ben tweet? Per 3 league sources with knowledge of team deliberations. Look at Ben fucking. Boston exploring a one-player change with caps that are likely being replaced. No offers out there yet, but a ton of momentum. Okay. Yeah, this is exactly. Fucking Ben J bomb. I'm actually gonna vouch on Ben's behalf for that one. So from what I have heard, chat, in the what's the old person? The scuttlebutt around the league is that Boston is looking to make a change, and it is for Capsule, so I will vouch here. The players that have been rumored to be here are some of the FaZe Black guys, like Asim and Kremp. I know there's a couple of teams that are like currently in the running for those players, because obviously those guys are going to be the first off the board, right? They won the first Challenger event. They've been unequivocally the best Challengers team. So when that happens, there's basically a fucking bidding war for the players because they're not under contract with Tommy. So they have pretty much the freedom to go wherever. So those 4 players are going to be like basically shopped around the entire league. So it's up to them to figure out where they want to go. I have heard Kremp and Asim on this team. Because obviously they're dropping caps, so they want to sub. And I actually would love Asim going here. I said it on the flank. I've said it on previous streams. I think he is literally like a perfect fucking fit. Kind of convey the point would be their search. It's just like Austin has such a like way that he wants to play. And when you watch them play S&D cap, it's just like the complete opposite. Which again, when this team was formed, and I looked at the Cap Snoopy sub duo, it was like super easy to tell that like these guys are going to be very hit or miss, and that's exactly what's going on. Spooky and Realms, thank you guys. Like Cap has a very high ceiling, but I feel like he makes a lot of mistakes, but that's just like kind of par for the course for the way that he plays COD. So you kind of got to roll with the punches on that one. But like you having 2 of those players, having one of those players is fine, because then you can make that player your like build around, and you can like kind of counter the mistakes that player is making with whatever sub duo he's paired with. But when you have 2 of those kinds of players, it kind of like landslides a little bit, which is what is happening with this team. So if there's no changes and they stick it out for another stage, I hope they do well, because the reasoning that like I'm so heavy on changes early, which is why I like really appreciated what Carolina did, was when you don't make changes and everybody else is making changes, you get like the players that are basically left over, or the players that you would like, oh shit, now we need to make one. All the like the top talent is going to be in the league already. My dogs are fucking tweaking. They agree about the roster changes. So I hope Boston doesn't find themselves in a situation like a month from now, 2 months from now, where they want to make a change and it's not for someone that they want. So we will see what happens. I think they're good though, but they just need to fucking figure it out against shitties. Okay. So there's 2 things I've heard. Which one? I mean, I'll just pull this one. Fuck it. All right. On to the LA Thieves. So I've heard they're trying to make a 2-person change. This tweet doesn't have 2, but I heard Nasty is also a potential player here. I wish Bance was still in my chat. God fucking asshole. He left before we started talking about it. How convenient. So Kremp for Joe is the one thing, and then they're trying to, I think, get Nasty, but I think the AR thing is a little bit up in the air. I think, was it Jay? Hold on, let me just try to pull up a tweet really quick. I think Jake Hale might have tweeted it. You can always trust Jake Hale. Jake Hale. Yep, there it is. Okay. Shout out JKL. Goofy Goober, thank you, buddy. Okay, as far as the more this move definitely isn't locked in yet, and Thieves are weighing multiple options that they are. So we'll talk about both changes. Number one, Kremp. I do like I said, a lot of the phase black players are going to be very sought after. So I think LAT is actually a very good landing spot. They have a great coaching staff. Obviously, no personal bias here. They're just a very desirable spot to play. The unfortunate thing is they're dead fucking last. So there's a little bit of a hole to dig out of. They also have the absolute fucking grueler schedule. Oh, let me see if I can find their schedule, dude. It is bad. Again, while this is a very desirable spot to play, this is not ideal if you are a Los Angeles Thief. They're gonna have a lot of work to do. The good thing is, if they make the change like now instead of postponing it, that is the one thing. And two, they could squeak out a couple of wins here. Being probably Miami could be weird if that like team doesn't mesh with their change. They're on a little bit of a slide. I don't see them beating Optic, Rocker, FaZe, or Ultra. LAG just beats the ever living shit out of LAT every time. I don't know why, dude. I couldn't do anything about it. It's just the curse. And then I think they could be Vegas. So there's a potential like 2-5 here, 1-6 here. That is optimistically 2-5 because I just obviously don't see them beating Optic, Ultra, Rocker, or FaZe. So they're in a tough spot. I do like the Kremp signing. Like I said, the kid is very good, and I like the. Okay, let me rephrase. I don't know the decision making. I'm not actually a part of the roster, contrary to popular belief. I actually don't know the decision making behind the Afro decision over keeping Joe. I don't really want to speculate on it because I genuinely have no idea. Watching their games, I feel like they're about the same. I feel like Joe is probably like a little bit of a worse like overall statistical performance, but like when I watch their games, their performances in terms of like two pieces and just like the hero plays that they're trying to make, the routes they're taking, they're relatively the same. So I feel like it's kind of splitting hairs. So I'm not sure on the decision between the two. And I don't really want to speculate on it because I don't fucking know. And the AR change, I kind of saw coming. I said it in my my tier list video if you guys watched that. The expectation for Cam to like come back to where he was a couple of years ago, I feel like is like finally run out a little bit. I do love Cammy as a person. He's a great dude, but he just hasn't been playing good COD. So I feel like he was definitely the first person to go for this team. And the rumor is Nasty, who, fuck me, is Nasty. He's very good. And I think a couple of teams were straying away from him for like visa purposes or like some weird out of game stuff with that whole situation, because I think their whole roster's in the UK. But I don't think Nasty is a lock, as per JKL here. I've also heard that there are a couple of options for this team for the flex spot. I don't know. I hope they do end up getting Nasty because he's probably the best of the options. He's very, very good. And I think he was good last year on London. It was just like a situation where like all of their players look like shit because they were playing for the London Royal Ravens. So, yeah, hope Nasty works out. I think Kremp's a good spot. That kid's disgusting. He like absolutely flies, which can be good to pair with Afro because Afro doesn't really fly like that. They have like a good dynamic with each other. And then Nasty just gets a lot of kills. So yeah, I don't know if it's going to help because their schedule is probably 1-6. So assuming they actually do beat Vegas, it's going to be a tough one. And they're already on the back foot in the standings. So they have a lot of work to do. I hope they figure it out. I hope the changes help, but it's looking a little bit slow for the bros right now. And then what? There was it Vegas? Let me just pull up fucking Ben's Twitter, bro. Ben be tweeting. Jesus, he's got a whole thread. This fucking guy. All right. Did that. Vegas likely depending on targets. Problems was yeah. Okay, so if I'm Vegas, I'm shipping Purge the fuck up out of there. No offense to my boy Purge, but brother in Christ, that guy not played great. Not played great so far. That seems like very cut and dry to me. I don't know if it is that cut and dry to the players or like what the actual situation is there, but I've watched pretty much every game of the CDL so far, barring a couple. And he's had like that one series against Optic where he played well, but like this team has such good, like a very, very good foundation with Nero and Attach, because I actually like, again, I said it in my tier list video, this is an Attach renaissance here, dude. He has been disgusting from beginning to end this entire season. And I hope that they figure something out, because that guy is fucking gaming. And Nero is also disgusting. I thought Nero was super underrated in the offseason over Rostermania. I thought that he was prematurely dropped from Boston last year. I said that shit from the moment that he got dropped till now, and I will hold that opinion. He's gross. This is going to sound so... Oh, God. Purge, I'm so sorry, bro. But, like, I don't think that guy, like... This is going to sound so fucked. And I hate talking about players negatively. I really do. But, like, he doesn't contribute, like, enough in like a certain game mode for me to be like, their S&D is going to get worse, or like, their hard point's going to get worse if he's not on the team. You know what I mean? Is that kind of fucked up? Because like normally when you make a roster change, okay, think about like Slasher, like, okay, no, literally, it's like when you make a roster change for somebody and you're like, they're gonna get better at S&D, but they're gonna get like worse at hardpoint because like maybe that player was really good at search. Like I feel bad, but it's not like he was like carrying in search and like just wasn't performing in respawn. It's like you don't. He was kind of just there. Yeah, he was kind of. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I feel so bad. They just need somebody to get kills, bro. That's all it is. Because they're hella good. Like they're actually, and unironically, they could be LAG right now if they didn't get reverse swept 3 times. We would be talking about them in the same way we're talking about LAG. The exact same team if they just finished with 3 more wins instead of getting fucking reverse swept, piss stomped 3 times. Be the same team, but unfortunately they're not. So I don't know. They'll figure it out though. So what? That's Boston. I think they're making a change. My sources, they're making a change. Ben J's sources are making a change. Ben Band says they're not. You got to think Euro cheese there. They got Zed. I don't know. Maybe they're, there it is. LAT, they have a really hard schedule. I feel like their changes aren't even going to be like genuinely like judgeable until like stage 3, which sucks because you're making changes, and normally when you make changes, like you're going to be able to tell the ability of the roster relatively quickly. And they're absolutely like running the gauntlet. Like they have like a 1 in 6 potential stage, so I feel bad for that one. Vegas, I think pretty cut and dry there. What about Seattle? I think Seattle should make a change because said it before, said it a couple other times, and I'll say it again right now. Abuza should not be using a submachine gun, but he is. They're in a similar boat that I don't know. Like they just, I looked out, dude. I hate Alec. Dude, I love Alec. I think he's really fucking good, but like he hasn't been really good. Oh, dude. Content sucks, dude. I feel so bad. Like they're a good team. Like they be winning series, but like he just hasn't been great. I don't know. It sucks to like, dude. The chat. Like I'm not even like memeing for content. Like I hate talking about players in like a super negative fashion because it's like when I say something, like whether I wanted to, like what I say holds weight in COD. It's just how it is. And like when I say shit, people fucking run with it. So I don't want to like shit talk these players. And then people just like don't even critically think about it and just fucking, Octane said they're dog shit, so they're dog shit. Like, I don't know. I hate doing that. But Alec, like, I mean, you can just watch the games. He hasn't been great. And their win condition is like, in respawn at least, is like a Kyler or Illy like 2.5 hard point. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only time that they're going to win a hard point. And granted, they are very good at search. But like, that's not a reliable way to win series. So I do think they should make a change. I think they should get a sub. Put a booze on an AR where he can actually play the fucking game, which he has been very good on a sub. Like, I'm not saying that he hasn't been, but his potential is nowhere near what it should be right now. And I am a firm believer that like you don't judge a player's talent and then pick them up and then ask them to do something completely different, because that just like doesn't make sense. Exactly like Fame last year. There's just no point in doing that. So even if he hasn't been good on a sub, he'll be better on an AR. I think that they get a fast-paced sub and try to just improve and respawn. I think that's their best path. And they're also like probably the best landing spot right now for a player in terms of like roster change, because what, they just got 6th. They're like mid pack in the league right now. I don't know where they are in the actual standings. Let me look. Seattle's a very good spot to land if you're a free agent right now. So Seattle is in 6th. They have 60 CDL points. Let's see. What's their schedule looking like? They play New York, Carolina, Toronto, LAG, Rocker, Vegas, and Breach. So not the worst. This series is actually going to be pretty big. Depending on what kind of New York comes out, this series is going to be pretty big, because I think they could be Ravens, because their search is just like better. I think they lose to Toronto. I think they could lose to LAG, depending how Seattle plays that day. I think they could lose to Rocker, depending how they play that day, and I think they beat Vegas and Breach. I don't know. I think Seattle's a really good spot to land if you're a free agent. Do I think they actually make a change? No, I don't think that they do, but I think they should. But that's to be determined. I think that's everybody that could make a change, right? Miami. I don't know much about Eric Boom. Chat, you guys might actually know more than me. I know he's really good, and I know he was on the team prior to this season, and then they made that like change for Journey after he was on the team for like a week. I don't know the reasoning for that change. I don't know if it was like a chem thing or like what the vibe of the camp was, but I know he's been playing really well in Challengers. That's pretty much the only information that I got on him, though. I don't know much about him. So at FaZe, no. Boston, we talked about Cap. Ravens, Fellow, and Tej. Good change. Gorillas, no. LAT, potential 2-person change. Miami, already 1-person change. Nothing on Rocker, New York. Seattle should, won't. Optic, no. Toronto, no. And Vegas, probably change for Purge. I think that's everything. See what happens.